Hello everyone, it's Menace, and today we are here with the god of Armajet. We have with us Big King L. Hey Big, what's up?
Not much, man. I'm doing pretty well, having a good day.
Yeah, so he has been the continuous winner for the last two seasons. Big, what's your secret? How do you how do you slay everyone?
A lot of it for me is I've put a lot of time into the game. I have probably more hours on the PC version of the game than anybody else, and I've been playing Armajet on the mobile version for it would be over a year now. So it's a lot. A lot of it is just all the time that I've put in.
Okay, so you say it's experience.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so how are you feeling now that you have been winning two continuous seasons?
Honestly, I've felt slightly more underwhelmed than I thought I would. Um, Being number one in the first season of the early access and getting the champion badge obviously is something that's an interesting feat, but I really don't believe that a person's place on the leaderboard is an exact sort of mirror of that person's skill.
Okay. So, uh, with this, what guns did you use for this? You have been changing your guns. Earlier, we used to see more of Blacktest gameplay,
Hmm.
and now we see more of the Thunderstorm gameplay.
Yeah.
Tremor and Thunderstorm.
Um,
So, what you're gonna say?
for me, I've always been a flex player. I've always put the time in to actually learn a variety of different weapons, and I can and do play just about every weapon in the game. Although lately I've actually strayed a bit away from the snipers. I've been playing a lot of Thunderstorm, and it's because it's the best weapon in the game in order to improve your movement, which is something I've been wanting to put a lot of time into, so I have.
Okay, agreed. Totally agreed. So, do you think that there are changes coming in your gameplay every season, or the total scoreboard? Like people are using different games, different guns and weapons. Like the season before this, when we had all the guns, and compared to that, the current season where we did not unlock all
Hmm.
the guns. Do you think that there is some change in people's gameplay?
Um, I think as people unlock more and more weapons, the the pool of the actual weapons you're going to see in your matches is getting a lot deeper very quickly as more and more people level up. So, in terms of the fact that we have a growing player base, on top of the higher level you get, the more weapons you get, essentially, a lot of things change, and I think that just about every season is going to be different than the one previous.
Yes. Do you think there's a lot of complaint about the Whaler system? What is your opinion about it?
Right now, currently, the Valor system actually punishes the people at the top more than anybody else. Last season, it got to a point where I was getting one Valor a match and losing 14 a match. In terms of match times and the time between games, that's essentially 5 minutes a round, which means that I lose one Valor, essentially equals an hour of my time, right? So if I'm losing 14, if you add all that up, I
Yeah,
essentially lose over an hour of my gameplay whenever I lose. I think the
so
system could
it's
use
not
a. I
it's not
honestly
easy.
think. Yeah, I think that the system itself could use a few tweaks, but it's not something that I really know enough about or have taken the time to research, so I can't really pass 100% judgment on it.
Okay. So one more last thing from you. So
Mm.
what tips do you give to everyone? How to how to get better? How to get into the top 100 like you did,
Mm.
and you have been doing.
Honestly, I mean, it sounds almost kind of cliche, and I feel like anybody you ask would say the same thing. A lot of it is just the time that you put into the game. There's a lot of people who have a lot of time into the game over I guess it would be 2.5 years that the game's been around. So I think that the more time you put in and the more weapons you get, the more you diversify yourself, the better you're gonna be in the long term.
Okay, so right now, people who are coming into the game, would you ask them to, dedicate themselves to one gun, or would you ask them to play a different gun for ladder?
Yeah. For somebody who's just starting out, I'd stay away from only learning one, because if you only learn one, then you essentially put yourself in a position where if whatever you're using doesn't work in that match and you don't know how to play anything else, then there's nothing you can really do about it. Which is why I'd advise people to actually learn 2, maybe even 3 weapons and diversify themselves more and more. Because if you are learning 2, even 3 weapons, if you put yourself in a situation in a match where one weapon doesn't work, you can easily switch to something else and you can take control of the game.
Okay, totally agreed. You just changed my point of view, and thank you for being here on my channel. And hopefully, we would be seeing you again next time, again on the leaderboard. So till then, goodbye.
Alright, man.
And everyone, if you want to follow BigKingL, I've put down everything about him into the down below the descriptions. And please go follow him. He streams almost daily or weekly on Twitch. Don't forget to follow. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for being.